All right, and hello everybody. Just doing a quick sound test like I have to do every week. Is everybody able to hear me clearly? Anybody in the chat, feel free to say hi.
Oh, can they hear us?
I'm hoping so. Hopefully somebody, if you're able to hear us, say hi in the chat. If you're not able to hear either myself or anybody else, let us know as soon as we can so we don't go an hour into the game and find out we've been silent the whole time.
It's happened before.
It has happened before, and it makes me want to quit.
Let me see if I can ask someone to check the link real quick. See if we're rounds on.
All right, so I have somebody in the chat saying that they could hear me. Are you able to hear everybody else, Emery?
Meow, meow.
Y'all talk.
I was able to hear Zarelda, Ty, whenever I went to Twitch.
Okay, cool. All right, then I think we're good.
And Revan, for the record, you sound a little echoey,
Let me move the mic.
but much better than not being able to hear you, so not a big deal.
I just moved a little bit further away from where my speakers are. Is that better?
I think you're fine to me, but
Yeah,
Alright.
it's
Yeah, it
fine.
doesn't sound bad to me.
It's good enough.
All right, go beans. I'm all about good enough. All right, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us. Those in the chat, thank you for joining us as well. We are about to start on to episode 16 of Turmoil and Taldorei. Please, rounds of applause. Thank you. The golf claps are the best rounds. Just going over a couple quick announcements. I realize this is an announcement that I probably should be doing more often, so I'm going to try to remember to do it. For this channel, just because sometimes artists are hard to find, I do borrow art just going through Google. If any of the art that we use is recognized by anybody watching this, please feel free to link their name, Instagram, anything like that to us. So this way then we can reach out to them and get their permission, or if they don't want us using it, then we can switch it out for something else. But otherwise, we are not using your art and form to make money. It's just in a case of utilizing it for the game. In the words of our one warlock in the party who used to put in this quote, and I think he may have forgotten, "Don't sue us, ooh."
Please don't sue the woo.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Second, I am still working on the concept of doing a charity game. Life is kind of been getting in the way for me doing the research on things. I do have intentions on still doing it, but I have to figure out how to do it properly and get through all the schematics and the different things that I can do, so I'm doing it legally. But I will be more than happy to do that, and I will put in more information or put out more information as that progresses. We had last week on Tuesday, and our last exciting episode of Turmoil and Taldorei was just a general meet and greet. I think that was largely successful. We didn't have a whole ton of people watching, but I think that overall it was just kind of cool to have a chill evening. So I might do that on occasion, maybe once a month, instead of us having a game, us have one of those just hangout sessions and then talk about things. I'll leave that up to you guys too, and if anybody that ends up watching this, feel free to message me on it and tell me what your feedback is on it, because I live for feedback. Please give me feedback. I'm trying to think if there's anything else for the announcements that I wanted to go over real quick, but I think that largely covers it. Is there anything else that you guys want to plug or anything like that?
Are we doing introductions?
We will be. That's going to be coming next.
But I'm going to save my energy. But everyone should play Genshin Impact. Inazuma just dropped. Head over to feudal Japan and check out all the waifus and also, haha, deal with crazy oppression.
For the record, they do not sponsor us.
They don't, but I love it, so we should play it.
Again, for legal purposes. Hashtag don't sue me.
You won't throw me some dollars.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor us, we will be more than happy to go over that, and I will go over those deals with you at another time.
They're not going to sponsor.
I had to catch myself from calling myself a whore.
I mean, I'll call myself.
We already have somebody in the chat that already loves Genshin Impact, so there you go.
Hell yeah, shout out to my girl catching. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm so... Leopard's not here, so I'm derailing is all fuck.
Alright, so let's go ahead and steer this train back on the tracks before it gets to civilization. So, in regards to the party, we'll just go through generally what we go through with general introductions for everybody, going over who you are, characters, if you want to introduce pronouns, tell us fun, anything like that. And then we'll go through piece by piece. I'll do a quick recap, and then we'll jump into it. Hey, you figured it out. Alright, cool stuff. Alright, so let us go ahead and start off with our lovely druid, Zerelda.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Hi everybody, I'm Ty. In this game, I am Zerelda Pricklebush at your service. She is a halfling druid, Circle of the Shepherd. You can just imagine her as a very small but tall for her people, very small halfling with white dreadlocks, red hair, and very tan skin. Think Ishvalan from FMA.
You mean red eyes, not red hair.
That's what I meant. What did I say?
You said white hair and red hair.
Okay, yes, white hair and red eyes.
There you go.
And she has just a regular, her staff kind of looks like it's made out of a bonsai tree and that the wood is woven together upward.
Mm.
She just wears pretty practical clothing, nothing really eye-catching. It's something that looks like she sewed together herself with stuff she found in the woods. And I think that's good for me.
All right, thank you. Zankus.
I am still setting my stuff up, but
Okay, we can come back to you in a minute.
no, I'm good for right. I got a second.
Okay.
Sorry, but yeah, I'm playing Zankus Quickstitch. He is a bronze 4-foot tall gnome. Walks around in just a green vest, green pants, very kind of simply dressed, and yeah, he's just a little shit, really. I feel like that sums him up fairly adequately.
And what's his class and subclass?
Oh, he is a Psy Warrior fighter.
Little and shit.
Little and shit. All right,
The little shit.
Zeno.
What the fuck is going on, gamers? It's your boy, Chrono, hitting you up with the introduction to Zeno. Half-elf warlock, the patron Martel. Fucking, he just looks like a twonk, which we've had discussions about on this channel multiple times. I'm not gonna repeat myself. Anyway, fucking, I don't know what to say during these things. I just make stuff up. I'm moving in a couple days, and my brain is fried. Gay rights, back to you, Revan.
And that is an introduction if I ever heard one. I think you told us almost nothing about your character, but that was a solid ramble.
Listen, they speak for themselves.
Does that mean that Zerelda speaks for the trees?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
If that's what Zerolda does,
That's right. And you shouldn't. Druids are scary, yo.
Except for Corvina, you always tell her how she works.
That's because Corby. Okay, all right. Now, okay. You want to know about Zeno's character? Zeno's character is the fucking moral compass sometimes because Corvina likes to fucking go on expeditions of chicanery, and you know, a lot of times it involves wacky shit that could get us all killed or arrested or dead.
That's because Corvina identifies as a good time.
Which I was today years old when I learned that you can identify as a good time. But I'm gonna shut up now, gamers. That's a G-A-Y. Like I said, gay rights. Pass it on over since Corvina's telling us about your character anyway. Fucking take it away.
Alright, I guess it's my turn.
It is.
Corvina is the rogue / healer of the party.
You don't have to put air quotes. You're a cleric.
I mean, yeah. But there's all
Clerics don't have to be healers. That's classist.
A cleric, but not that kind of cleric.
right, like I took another level in cleric, so now I'm a beacon of hit points, so apparently I could be a healer. But to describe her, she's 6 foot tall, blonde hair, red eyes, wears pirate garb because she's totally a pirate. She also has a silver whip that she uses, like that Belmont chick that I totally don't have the hots for. Yeah. And she is usually found next to the wall because she is put on the earth to protect him. Besides that, she is here for a good time, not a long time, and is going to steal an airship within the next few sessions.
You're certainly welcome to try.
The DM double doggy dared her, and now she has to.
No, he didn't.
You're a dungeon master too. You understand what those words mean in subtext. The subtext of "you're certainly welcome to try" is you probably shouldn't do it. But don't let me stop you, by all means.
I'm a DM. That means you totally have to do this now because you're a DM. You have to figure out how.
Sure. There is zero flaws in that logic.
Right. So that's Corvina in a nutshell.
All right, and the wall.
First think later, bail out after.
Iriday is giving you that look of like, I am so done with your shit today. All right, buddy. Let's go over the Wall of Zariel.
Like the expression goes, oh, if walls could talk, bop, bop, bam.
The walls have eyes.
Does that mean if the wizard in the party eventually picks up fly, he could be a fly on the wall?
I mean, we have a druid, the wild chick.
Hey, there you go. We could already do that. You hear that, Zerelda? I guess that means you get to crawl all over the Wall of Zariel.
Oh my god.
I mean, we can do that now. We still have time before we go back to the school.
We are sidetracking and we are heading towards civilization. Let's get this train back on track. Choo choo, motherfucker. Let's do this.
Got some fanfic to write now.
Iriday, I play the Wall of Zariel. Yeah, he's a 6'9" tiefling, not helping that sidetrack. He has red skin, long brown hair, sweeping horns, nice long tail. Yeah, he's in a full plate, full set of plate adamantine. Carries a banner shield.
Tower.
Tower shield. It's Banner Man's shield. That's
Yeah,
what
there
it
you go.
is. And yeah, personality-wise, he's pretty prideful. Doesn't actually believe that he can fail, that he can fall. So
I love the gravitas. All right, excellent.
Somebody
And he's been day drinking.
And he was day drinking.
Under peer pressure to do so, you got me into that mess.
All right, so we'll be getting to that. Everybody, thank you very much. And we'll go into just a quick recap. So on our last exciting episode, you guys were in school. You're doing a little bit of research in the local college for the Lyceum, trying to track down the leads for both the hags you had encountered before, trying to get some connection between them and the Devil Lord Levestus, as well too as try to get a little bit of information on the Myriad, though you found more information on the Clasp. The last episode as well, Corvina, the Wall, and Zerelda got bored with their research, so they fucked off to where the bards were partying and kind of joined a toga party, in which case the Wall, at 2 p.m. was blitzed out of his mind with some strange alcohol concoction that they trusted the bards with. Blitzed.
he rolled pretty damn good.
I mean, he rolled pretty damn well, but to be completely fair, no Constitution save is going to save you from all of that. That just means you didn't get alcohol poisoning.
Okay.
If it goes in the body, it has to have a reaction.
Have to act this out now.
Not necessarily. We'll get to that. During that, Zerelda ended up flirting with one of the local bards and went to go and hang out with him. And Leopard, our missing member today, was introduced to his instructor. Because of the rest of the party, he is the actual wizard in the party and was able to get them into the Lyceum because of that. So he had to sign up for classes, essentially. He was introduced to his instructor, a half-sea elf named Afer, or Captain Afer, who proceeded to school him on what blade singing meant, which led to a fun confrontation. And that's kind of where we left everything off. So, without further ado, the Shadow Hearth Society proudly presents Turmoil in Taldorei, Episode 6, Poison. So, you guys are in the college. Say that's the course of the events have kind of taken up the last couple of hours. The Wall, since you stopped drinking after your drinking contest, you're definitely still feeling it, but you're not under the effects of like intoxication at the moment. Zerelda does eventually join you guys with a very happy smile on her face. And eventually everybody kind of meets up back at the doors of the college, finding the research that you were able to find with the books, and you guys kind of having your own mini adventure by itself. So now it's kind of up to you. You had gotten information on the individual in the Cloud Top district, the noblewoman that had a connection with the Myriad. And you had the couple other little side things that you could potentially be doing as well. I would say it's about 5 p.m. at this point. And what is it that you guys would like to be doing?
Probably pursuing the connection with Myriad, going down that story with Zeno.
Okay.
Would I be able to find any connections underground with my
It depends. Who are you asking? What kind of information are you finding? Or, not finding, what are you looking for, I should say.
Oh, what would be the best questions for me to ask? I guess I would find out through Zeno.
Ah.
So Zeno, let's say I am a little bit shady.
Okay, that's not a hard stretch.
And I might or might not know a way to talk to other slightly shady individuals.
You're still not doing anything that I have to really imagine here.
Okay, so you're following, right?
Uh-huh.
What kind of questions would you like me to get answers for? And who would you like me to go speak to find out some answers that may help you on this quest of yours?
Well, here's the thing. I would love to tell you who to talk to as far as shady people are concerned. However, as a detective, sometimes shady people aren't always available. I mean, I have some contacts, obviously. Most of the time, they're law-abiding people. Now, as far as questions to ask, well, I would try to figure out where individuals who float between the line of lawful and unlawful would gather. I would try to figure out if there's any kind of formalities that need to be followed, procedures. Criminals are very much creatures of habit. You do things by the book when the book is being the book of law is being set on fire. You do things by the criminal book. Much more respect if you understand what it is that's being expected of you. So those would probably be where my questions would, if I had the ability to ask said questions, those would be my questions.
So, for me to jump in real quick as well. As he's describing this, Zerelda, give me a general intelligence check.
Okay. Got my notebook right here.
So, since it's easier for me to deal with criminals because they're more honest than regular people, would you want me to maybe go to the hand? The hand? Wow, that's not the right word.
I much prefer
Now we're
the
doing
foot.
Ninja Turtles, guys.
Well,
That's the foot.
foot.
Oh, damn it!
I think the hand is marble. I think.
That is
It is. It's Iron Fist.
Yeah.
That guy.
Would you like me to go to the class and see what information I can get from them regarding the Myriad?
Honestly, no. Because going directly to the class is kind of would be considered a last ditch effort. They are the type to remember things. You want to go maybe a step between the class and like your everyday citizen. You want to go somewhere in the middle of that. You don't want to go directly to the class because then you have to get embroiled in class politics and procedures, and that's not really a road you want to go down.
As a quick reminder, too, you guys already went down that road. Because Zankus had you guys talk to his informant to the episode before last.
Oh yeah, he was pretty helpful, wasn't he?
I heard a chime. Somebody did a thing. Thank you, person, for doing the thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for that thing you did.
Zerelda, what was the roll, by the way?
It was 18.
18? So, as he's talking, he's kind of going over procedure and stuff like that. And while he's specifically talking about criminal organizations, there is something that you do remember from whenever you first went into the Cloudtop District, and every time that we've come into the Cloudtop District. You need to be invited in there. You can't just walk in. So every time that we've gone in, it was under the invite of Lady Lorana.
Okay.
And the individual that you guys want to talk to, Gianna Sycamore, she is one of the noble houses there, and is an old house. So you might have to garner an invitation to get in there.
Okay. I'll share what I know with the party.
Interesting. So do you think maybe Lady Lorana would be able to get us an invite through Zerelda, or would you like me to sneak in there and information? You know, do the room.
I think either option would have good results. Maybe we should try getting an invite before we do the sneaky sneak.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all for doing it the right way first because I have a side quest that I need to work on. A little reconnaissance. But you guys do you first.
That's not ominous.
Right?
No.
You're not going to do something that endangers the rest of us or our positions and things, are you?
No, but there is a bard that owes me a lot of gold in case you need gold for anything for me.
Oh, that's right. I never sorted out how much money that you earned, because you did get that money.
Okay.
Sorry, ADHD brain. I forgot about that.
So I filled out, that's the gold.
Yeah, you probably handed it over to me, knowing that you were going to abandon the party.
I'm not abandoning the party.
So we'll say that the total earnings that you got from that was about 750 gold.
Okay, I'll put it in my stuff. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't a bard pulling a fast one. That was your DM having ADHD brains.
So that puts me at what, 15, 25? Yeah. That's nice of me.
Okay. So how is it that you guys would like to approach that? We do have 2 technical city officials here. So you could probably bullshit your way into the Cloudtop District with them as detectives, but you have to be playing up on your probable cause.
If I had to put a number on it, I would say I have a high charisma. No, he's not that drunk. He's not intoxicated. He didn't actually say anything. I just wanted to pretend.
I appreciate the method.
That's how it could have happened.
Meanwhile, in an alternative universe, the wall is passed out drunk under a table.
I mean,
Wall
that
under
could
the
just...
table.
The wall
that could
turned
just
into
be
a
this
floor.
universe.
I mean, if that were the case and Corvina could not leave, she would have to stand guard of the wall.
I'm just tipsy, buzzed, as the DM said.
That's what they all say.
Intoxicated.
Would you like to go for a walk on the boardwalk?
Is this before or after you said you were doing recon?
Ask.
I guess I could use to keep an eye. Not, I didn't say the second part.
Okay, so the idea is to try to get some recon then, and try to figure out how to get into the cloud top.
Yes. Among other things that she's going to take recon for, definitely that also.
Because you do know a way into the cloud top district that is through the sewers.
Get that stanky sneak.
But maybe I could ask some of the regular people about, what was the thing, Senna? I already ADHD gone with that thought.
What was your question?
other corpse
need
in
to
that
find.
room.
You need to find out, one, where these type of people hang out. Two, if there's any kind of procedures that need to be followed. Three, what the expectations are for how you act. And, I mean, that could be kind of two. But I like to think of like procedures are like things to set up deals, and then three is just general behavior.
Or she probably would already know that, right? General behavior on how to set up. Yeah, probably not.
I would say that you have a general idea for some of that. I don't. You're probably not going to know you're not going to know like the criminal procedural stuff that you would need for like the myriad specifically, or even the clasp. But you have a general idea as to like how to be shady and set up a deal like that, or the general people that you're looking for that seem to be in that like middle ground area of being like a full-on criminal in an organization to somebody that's like skirts that line.
And four, if you could find out who an informant is, find out what they like. Do they like to drink? Do they like to smoke weed? Do they like to, I don't know, eat a particular dish? You need to know the specifics of what people want and how to get these things to them. Because people tend to talk when you get them what they want, or get them high, or drunk, or whatever the fuck they try to do.
Gerelda will speak up from the corner where she was absent-mindedly playing with a bug and say, I can provide the weed.
Zerona can provide the weed.
So
I can find these places.
walk the board. Reconnaissance on my mission. Reconnaissance on your mission. Find out the procedures for talking to the middle ground people. And if I find an informant, stick him in the back of the holding and bring him back to you. Got it. Let's go.
There was something there that doesn't sound right.
I heard everything that they said, and it's in my brain.
All right, so
Right.
It's okay. I got this.
Is no one else speaking up to her plan?
I can't. I'm the word. I'm the word of God.
I mean, I've given her the advice. I don't know what else you want from me.
No, nobody is going to tell her that she can't put an informant in the bag of holding.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, don't do that. I'm sorry. Well, you forget that I think I'm dealing with someone who has rational thoughts and isn't going to stuff a person into a pocket dimension where they can't breathe.
I
Don't
will
do
tell
that.
them to hold their breath first.
No, don't. Corvina. Zeno's gonna they're gonna kind of take Corvina's hands and just kind of hold them for a second. Corvina, I need you to remember that you're representing someone who represents the justice side of Amon. And your actions are going to represent how I would act. Not to mention how everyone else around you would act. You have to think, what I'm doing, would Zeno disapprove of this? Would Zeralda disapprove of this? Would the wall give me a very dirty look if I did this? Would our new friend here, would he also look at you very disapprovingly?
Okay, wait, one thing at a time. What would Zeno do? And define dirty look from the wall, because I've been shooting for that for months now.
No, I'm going to throw you into a jail so specifically for morbid people.
Do we have those?
You know what? We could probably make one.
She
the bag of holding.
takes a minute, looks directly at Zeno, and takes Zeno's form, and goes, I'm ready. Let's go find who the informant is.
No, not take my form. Do not take anyone's in this party's form. Don't take a form of a guard or a captain.
But I look fabulous. Look at me.
I know you do. Trust me. I know. But again, that means that you're speaking for me.
You
And
just
any
said
mistakes that you make then come back to me.
But you just said every time I speak, I'm speaking like I'm speaking for you, and you confuse me.
I said think
again.
about. I said think about what I would say.
So no, I just want to be just be Corvina. The
Then
fun
be
cute one.
Corvina.
That stabs
But
things.
you need to be considerate of the feelings and the situations of everyone around you. Because if you're not, then yes, you might be living free and wild and happy, but you might be damning someone else who's been with you this whole time.
Why do you always make sense?
Because it's my job to make sense of a world that doesn't make sense.
Well, stop making sense because I enjoy stabbing people and putting them in the bag of holding.
Don't worry, we'll get to that point, but right now we're not at that point.
Fine. But when I do the secret mission that I have been told that it's very important by a mysterious voice in the sky, you are not to stop me. I will behave until then. Fare thee well, Zeno.
Senna's gonna look at Zeraldo and be like,
And we will.
has she spoke something? Did you lose something that she like took from you?
Your edibles out.
Are you missing some edibles?
She gives you a good old like, and her in the wall, take off.
Zankus, you were trying to say something.
No.
And I'm Corvina again. I didn't go out looking like Zeno.
Senna's gonna look at Zankus like, you have a contingency plan for when something hits the fan, right?
No, I've not made any of that.
Okay. Neither
You
have
people
I.
are weird.
Okay, well, I think we should start talking about maybe other professions at this point.
I'd be a great statue.
Zeno's gonna pull out a cigarette and offer one to whoever wants to take one, but they're taking the longest fucking drag of their life.
Yeah, I'll take one.
All
Get
right,
this
so
without smoking.
the Wall and Corvina are going off on their scouting mission. What's the rest of you guys doing?
Currently,
Thinking about my life after.
Like I said, I think you'd make a great statue. As far as ultimate jobs go. But so where are we going? Like the rest of the party.
That was my question. You guys have other ways of getting into the Cloudtop District. You have evidence that you can use to potentially gain entry, or at the very least, maybe try to go through the channels to get an invitation. On like an official stance.
I mean, if Corvina's sneaking in, we should probably try to get in as many ways as we can in case one of them fails.
I feel like Zankus or Zena would have a way in, but even beyond that, I feel like the evidence would give us essentially a search warrant to get in.
Right, that's kind of what I was saying. I just couldn't think of the word.
Search warrant.
Yeah.
Also, as being, because she has worked with the Myriad, correct?
Correct.
So, would I know of any, since I've been investigating them, would not I know of any of her like assets, businesses, like on the legal side, that we might be able to go check out?
Sure. Give me a history check with advantage.
total of 24.
All right, cool. So you do know that the family is well known for breeding horses. So they do have trade to the military district and the Cloud Top. They have trade in the temple district as well, because they would give it out to their clerics and their paladins. Probably their stables and everything like that would be on the outside of the city as far as you're aware. There is a section of farms in the northern slums, or the upper slums rather. Let me see. Actually, looking at the map, probably the Shoreline Farms area is where you would assume that their estate would be, that they would have the basis of their business.
So that would be where their stables and all that is, probably.
That's where you would guess. It's in this general area. I don't know if that's pinging up on the map for you guys.
I mean, do you want to go check any of those out, or try and get into the Cloud Top district?
What do we think is the priority?
I mean, is there a cloth arms? Any-
No.
Technically, no, but the mechanic has been outed and arrested. And he's already had one attempt at on his life.
Kind of like peacefully detained.
Well, yeah, but that's as far as we would define it, but maybe not others.
Well, I don't give a fuck about others. They're not.
Sure, let's go with that. Okay.
What do you guys think we should do?
I mean, I guess get a search warrant. It seems like the quickest and easiest method is if we get approval, then the guards aren't going to stop us.
While Corvina is going in case we fail. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys will have to head from the Erdite Quarter to the military district. You'll have to speak to the captain for it, but he already is working with the both of you to try to get this all resolved. So,
I would be shocked if we didn't get a search warrant.
right.
Which is why I feel confident saying, I wonder how Corvina and the Wall are doing. Like some kind of magical thing.
Right. So that's where I'm going to go to next. So you guys will start heading towards the military district and see if you're able to get papers. All right, Corvina and the Wall. You guys head out from the party during the Erdite Quarter. Like I said, it's like at this point probably about 5:30 at night. It's starting to get dark since it is the middle of winter.
Okay.
All right. What are you guys doing? How are you approaching things?
How am I feeling it?
You're still feeling it in your head. You're not slurring anymore. You're not really wobbly in your speech. It's kind of like you have this like very light buzz going on. Kind of like whenever you like first start drinking and like your lips start to go numb a little bit. That's where you're at right now. You kind of have this like slight body high.
Okay.
Ravina's going to be looking for any airships that are nearby. And anybody that looks like she can ask about the Myriad, because she just wants a ticket in at this point.
Okay. Well, as to the airships, there is an air dock in the Cloud Top district. That's the only place that they're at.
Okay. Well, she needs to get in there.
As to people that kind of fit your description of shady, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Does she get a advantage with her criminal features?
Actually, a question. Which direction would you have gone? Would you have gone towards Abdar's Promenade, where that's like the market district? Or would you have gone towards the central district, which is largely residential?
Probably the market district.
Okay. I'd say yeah. Go ahead and give it out at advantage.
And you said perception.
Yes.
And I have the City Watch feat.
Okay.
Background.
I would have given her advantage if you had mentioned that, but either way, she'll have the advantage on the perception. If you want to try doing your own, then go for it as well. You go ahead and roll it with advantage.
27 for me.
Give me a second here.
Yeah.
Which I rolled the same. I rolled 13 on the die. Which was funny. Which is 16.
16? Okay. So, for the wall, as you're walking through, you do see little markings here and there that you would recognize. Largely, you see markings for the clasp itself. Some of it just like small in the brick on buildings or on signposts. If you point that out, then Corvina would be able to read what it is and thieves can't. As to Corvina, as you walk down the main streets, it's starting to get dark. You do see a couple hooded figures here and there. None that are looking particularly like up to something, but they seem to be more of a presence now that the sun's come down.
Okay. I will try to see who looks more. What's the word I'm looking for? Not preoccupied. Like, if they're going to be higher up the food chain, they're not busy, so to speak.
So you're looking for somebody that's kind of milling around. It doesn't look like they're on a job.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
I'm looking for the supervisor. I'm Karening this right now.
All right, go ahead and give me another perception check. Just straight roll.
Okay.
Those people in the Council of Taldorei, they will hear about this.
21.
You said 21?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you find a younger individual. First glance, he looks half-elf, though he has his hood up. He's young. Say probably the equivalent of like maybe 15 in half-elven years. He wears dark clothes. He's got a fur-lined hood up that he's kind of just using to keep the cold out, it seems. On first glance, it doesn't seem like he has any weapons. However, with you kind of being in a similar profession as him, you do notice the slight bulges in the clothes for like hidden daggers and stuff like that. Looks like he has a couple of them on him that would be very easy for him to get to, but are really well concealed.
Do you have any markings that I recognize for the class or the myriad?
They generally don't walk around waving a flag that says I'm a part of a secret criminal organization, so no.
Fair enough, but I mean like Burn or whatever brand.
Not that's seen. He's fairly covered up just due to the weather. By the way, the map went down.
And I will walk up to him and I'll start talking to him. Excuse me. And I'll do it in thieves' camp. But I need to speak to you or somebody that could help me in regards to gaining access to the cloud top.
give me a persuasion.
Okay.
And I imagine I'm just walking down the street, close by, but not.
Okay, so you are away from her, but enough to be within like earshot.
Recognizing she's talking to someone and knows what she's doing, I'm not going to interfere, but I'm going to remain nearby in case things go wrong.
Okay, that's fair.
That's a nat 20 with a total of 27.
Goddamn.
It is a 20.
All right. So he looks you over a little bit, and honestly, he seems a little bit intimidated just by your sheer size, because you're a solid foot taller than him. And you see kind of like a little bit of like the tremor in his hand a little bit as he's a little bit nervous. But you speak some very interesting words for him, requesting, offering favor, or how he's probably going to take it here in a second, offering payment. He goes, yeah, I could definitely help with that, actually. Who are you trying to see in the Cloudtop District?
I'll relay the name that I heard from the
Yana Sycamore.
yeah Sycamore. I won't say why, but I'll say it's a family called Sycamore.
Oh, I know them really well. We work with them. Okay. I could definitely try to get you an audience, actually. What kind of dealings are you looking for? Because she's very protective as to the people that she lets in, but if it's a viable trade, I'm sure that you'd be able to work something out with both her and myself to make it profitable.
It's information, and now you're flying into a lot more questions than I want to give answers for. So how about I throw in a few more gold where you do less talking and more getting me in?
Okay. So I could get you a forged pass and invitation for her, and I can have the chain reach out through the Myriad to tell her that you're looking for an audience, and that invitation will get you in through the door, so she knows to expect you. That'd be 100 gold.
Okay. I'll pay it, so no one can pay me back.
I'm sorry, what the fuck? I'm not there, but what the fuck?
For the wall, do me a quick favor. Give me a stealth check.
Remind me to start doing that. Oh no, that's a different thing.
That's a 12.
He takes a quick glance over at you and then looks back over at Corvina. Do you need 2 passes? Your bodyguard's not being very conspicuous.
Funny is, I'm his bodyguard. No, I'm only gonna need 1. And, thank you for telling me that he needs to be a little bit more stealthy.
You tell him he could probably lose the armor. Sounds like a kitchen.
Yeah, we need to get him some elven armor.
And he starts working on, pulls out a piece of paper out of his pocket that looks like an official document, and just starts going through with a quill real quick, like off of a crate. It's like, after you're all done with her, the Myriad, he dots it and everything. more than happy to work with you on trying to get some, high-end loot. Elven armor, here you go. Elven armor where you're walking around quiet. There's very few people that can acquire such things like us.
Well,
As long as you don't have too many questions on where it came from.
When this is all said and done, if I'm a happy client, maybe I'll come back and ask for a pass to join your merry bunch of folk.
Be more than happy to assist. Somebody with that, with such honeyed words would do well in our organization. Something you should consider. Speak to me whenever you're done.
I tip my hat and I leave.
All right. For the record, that was not planned. I was rolling a d20 to see on what kind of criminal underbelly person that you could find, and I rolled a nat 20. And I'm like, okay, that's a 1 in it's a 5% chance. So yeah, she found a myriad. A 1 was going to be a corrupt guard.
Winner, chicken dinner.
We will, I guess, head back and I'll inform Zeno of what I found, that he owes me 100 gold, and give him the letter information.
Well, we're gonna go back to the school. They're not gonna be there. The school's gonna be like, oh, we saw the people you were with heading this direction.
Yeah, you guys never really set up a rendezvous.
Keeping that dice out, that was good.
So are you, the two of you, going to try to go in yourselves, or are you going to try to find the group?
Oh wait, above table question, because this will help answer what you said. Did we ever pick up those stones?
No, because it's been 2 days.
Okay. Because then I could use the stones to be like, where are you?
Yeah, you have another week on that creation.
And the necklace too, right? I still have a while to go.
Yeah.
I guess we would go back to the inn and wait.
Okay.
Because it is probably 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the inn.
Okay. So for you guys heading to the military district, it takes 0 convincing to the captain on what it is you're intending on doing, because you found legitimate evidence that's enough that would allow you a warrant. So he's able to produce the warrant paperwork, which will give you entry to the cloud top and grant you audience.
So about what time is it right now, once we get the warrants and get done talking with the chief?
I would say probably about 6 at this point. And he actually will ask you too, is how do you guys plan on doing this? Are you going to be going in force and just trying to arrest her, or are you going in to question her? Because I feel like going in force is a bad idea, but I can supply you guards if you feel you need the backup.
I mean, could we have some guards close by, not in the house with us?
Sure, I could order some heightened security in the cloud top.
Sounds good.
Goes, turns around, starts barking orders at a couple people. Double rotation in the cloud top district. Don't you ask me any goddamn questions. I don't care that you just went on lunch. Get your shit back on.
If you could go row the cloud top district, that'd be great. So I guess we're ready to head to the cloud top district, or are we going to wait since it's already 6? Going back to the inn?
As much as it leaves us out of it, wait, I'm not there to offer opinions. I'll just shut up.
We appreciate the voice, however. Thank you. All right, Zeno, Zerelda, and Zankus. You guys heading straight to the cloud top with the warrant, or are you going to try to meet up with the rest of the group?
I think we should just go.
I mean, do we know where they are?
You don't. You guys did not discuss the plan properly. Misinformation.
Oh, okay. Okay, voice in the sky. Just blame us for not forgetting the specific detail.
It wasn't a specific detail. That was a very clear-cut detail of, we have a plan. We should have a follow-up to that plan.
Excuse me, what is a synonym for clear-cut and specific? Anyway, I guess we're just going to the fucking cloud top district.
Okay.
And hope we find them along the way. Talking very loudly about, oh, I hope Corvina and the wall are doing okay.
They don't hear you.
Okay, well. Fuck you too, I guess.
If only you knew people that had access to, like, sending.
Zeralda, do you have access to sending?
Do I? I don't think.
No, but your waifu might.
Oh, that's a good point.
What? If only I knew about Zeralda's wife.
I mean, you do. She flirted with everybody. And talked down to the wall.
Yeah, she did.
Sure, but that's what I guess.
You weren't there for that. The wall did his classic little Lorana. And she went, "You're adorable, little tiefling." But that's a direction you guys can potentially go to be like, hey, where y'all at?
Zeralda, what do you think? You think that's a good idea?
Let's do it.
I mean, we could tell her and then get the send. Just tell them to meet us in the cloud like this. Is what I'm saying. Or meet up at the gate.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Or at the very least, meet you at Lorana's estate. You guys could probably use that as a base of operations. Alright, cool. So, you guys head to the Cloud Top District. There is no interruption. You show your papers, show your badge, and they let you right in. So, you're heading to Lorana's then?
Yes.
Okay. So you head to Lorana's estate, and it's still this absolutely gorgeous estate amongst everything else that's here. The only thing that's not absolutely gorgeous within this entire place, which is something that I actually had forgotten about, is the crater, which is kind of in the center of the Cloud Top District. But a lot of the buildings are built around it, and people just try to ignore it as much as they can. But you head in. The butler within there, he goes and calls Lorana out, and it is kind of late at this point. It's probably about 7 at this point. And Lorana comes out in kind of this really frilly and fluffy sleeping robe. Her hair is done up in a bun, tucked up behind the horns. Zeralda, darling, I was not expecting you today, and I was not expecting your friends. Hello, and I have not met you before. And in front of you, Zankus, is a very tall tiefling. Probably similar to the height of the wall, actually. This deep, crimson skin. A set of smallish horns. And she's, for lack of better terms, it definitely fits that like almost like athletic supermodel build. Um, and she just has this like general air about her of aristocracy.
And all that is great, but it is completely lost on Bankus.
I'm sure it is. But
Hey, how you doing, lady?
yep, she will crouch down to be a little bit closer to eye level, which is still probably about a foot taller than you.
Oh, yeah.
And she'll go and shake your hand. It's a pleasure. Well,
Yeah, pleasure to meet you too. It's a great house you got.
thank you. It gives you a quick up and down. You're a part of the guard of Amon, one of the detectives like him.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, if the guard ever has, if you ever have issues with it, I do have a tendency to hire non-humans, and you seem to be quite well built for what it is that you do.
Oh shucks, what it's not much.
Just a bit of a workout. And he starts, like, unnecessarily, like, stretching and showing off. He's got a big head.
Zach, focus.
Oh yeah. It's interesting.
She'll walk over, do kind of the same thing with Zerelda, and stroke your cheek a little bit with her thumb. So what are you doing here, darling?
Well, seeing you, but
Indeed.
also, we're also trying to find some information about some people, and we're hoping maybe you could point us in the right direction.
So you're here for official business.
Fantasy.
I feel like those things always go hand in hand. Very well. What is the information that you're seeking?
A voice that comes from the sky told us that you apparently know how to do recepting. We're trying to find some of our comrades and make sure they're not in the shit, if you know what I mean.
Are we talking about the fighter and your very eccentric rogue?
Cleric, but yes.
Indeed. The worshipper of the Raven Queen, if I remember right.
You too.
I do have access to that kind of magic. Which of them would you like me to send the message to, and what is the message?
I guess the wall, right? Is that
Yeah, I think that.
Okay. The wall of Zariel, not like the other walls that exist.
I can do that, and remember, it has to be 25 words or less.
Meet us at the gates of the Cloud Top District. From Zeno,
You could also have
Zeralda.
them meet us at this house.
Oh no, they're not gonna be able to get in. We need to make sure they can get in.
Okay, I could do that. And she'll stand up, do a couple quick sigils with her finger, and repeat what you said. That will go directly to the wall. To the wall. You get a sultry voice in your head that pretty much reads, "Hello, Wall of Zariel. Meet your friends at the Cloudtop District entrance. Please."
Corina, it seems that we are needed elsewhere.
Okay.
Tally ho, our people need us. Okay, you did actually.
Sally forth.
But, yeah, I mean, this might have even been before we got back to the inn.
Yeah, 'cause it's at the same time.
Yeah. So we were
Yeah.
like just about getting to the inn, so,
Okay. And it'll take you guys about a half hour to get there from where you're at.
Okay.
All right. And that is where we will pause things for right now. This way we can go ahead and take a 10-minute break. Let's try to keep it to 10 minutes because I understand ADHD brain. But we'll meet you guys back here at ideally 9:06, and then we will continue. Everybody else, if there's anybody that's sticking around watching, stay tuned. We will be back. Grab yourself a snack. All right. Thank you guys for sticking around. We actually do still have a couple viewers in here, so I appreciate that. And we are back. So, with the sending spell going out and sending you guys a message, you guys meet back up with the rest of the party at the gate to the Cloudtop District. Both of you will notice immediately, and kind of the party notices it as they're walking towards the gate, that there very much is a heavy guard presence here. And you guys will immediately recognize that, because usually there's only like 2 people at the gate, now there's 4. You look past the gate and you see like the doubled up guards walking in a group.
So are they meeting up with us now at the gate?
Yes, that's the idea at least.
As I see them approach,
Isn't it beautiful?
and I kind of gesture at all the guards.
Corvina looks very, very uncomfortable right now.
I doubt I pick up on it, but
I am willfully ignorant of that social cue.
oh no, I'm intelligent and strong. That's it.
She's sticking to the wall.
Wait, the wall or the wall?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, what's the plan of action? You guys have your invitations.
I'm keeping mine in the bag of holding.
Okay. Just mark it down on your sheet because I'm going to forget about it.
I mean, to be honest, at this point, they didn't tell us why we're here.
I mean, that's fair.
Well,
Would does everyone want to go back to the supermodel's house?
Yes.
Zerilda's friend?
Lorana.
yeah.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Let's go see Tiefling Mommy.
And we lost
Senno.
He'll join back up.
Oh, there he is.
That was fucking weird. I was like, why did everyone go fucking quiet?
That was a banishment spell that you failed to save on.
But he dropped mine.
Then I succeeded to come back? Question mark?
Well, I mean, you have a pretty good charisma save. I mean,
Because I'm sexy as fuck.
you're sexy and you know it.
Reverend, how
Yes.
would we start this? In the letter invite to Miriam and forged document to Cloudtop? Should I put it like that?
Yeah, that's fine. That should be enough to remind me on what the hell you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So I'll follow our little bronze friend back to Mom Tiefling's.
All right.
Mommy.
Tell me, Mommy.
The kids agree.
All right. So you guys show back up, and same thing that I described. She hasn't changed. Was kind of expecting. Actually, no. She would have changed appearances and all. So she's in something simple and comfortable, but a lot more socially acceptable than like a semi-sheer robe.
Corvina goes over to Zerilda and says, I still have manacles. Why are we here?
Are not here for that. Not yet.
Not yet. Those are inviting words.
I will, when not yet happens, tell me, because I think I actually have 2 or 3 sets of manacles by now. I've been collecting.
I mean, I don't think we'll be arresting anyone. Not
I-
tonight.
I love you. I really do.
I turn to him and I say, every time someone tries to put me in manacles, I do this, and I shrink down to a gnome form, and then I put the manacles back
Would you guys like, and hello, I'm glad to see that you both got my message. Would you like to talk in one of my studies? It's probably better than standing in the cold entryway.
I look at Zeralda, I'm like, does that mean yet? Is that the yet?
What? No, it's not right now.
Study is not code word for yeah.
Putting up with it.
Corvina just puts her head down, she's all over the party.
I didn't know this was going to be a dungeon crawl.
Always a dungeon. Always a dungeon crawl when you're with Lady Lorana.
At least for Zerelda.
Lots of crawling.
I imagine she had to get custom equipment made for you.
Because I'm small.
Alright, anyway. So, she takes you guys into her study and says, if you require anything, of course, let me know, dears. And she will close the door and give you guys your privacy.
I love you.
Corvina will then, once the door is closed, explain to Zeno that he owes her 100 gold and we may have joined the myriad.
Just because you spend gold
Wait, what?
doesn't mean that I have to pay for you. Also, Zenkus, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off with that.
You said you joined the Myriad?
Maybe. And, yeah, she'll show him, like, the letter. I found a boy. I may have scared him when I spoke to him. I don't know. He was trembling, and then he wrote this and said that he could find me armor for my friend.
So,
Put the letter back in her pocket.
Zankus, you take a look at it, and that looks like an official document. Like, there is an official seal on it and everything. Like, it is a legit forgery.
That's amazing.
Right? Alright.
Let me see that.
No, hold on. This is my letter in. This is like Hogwarts. No, this is going to my
Well,
bag.
fair enough.
So, young Zeno, obviously, you got into the Cloudtop district and got in touch with us, so why are we here? What
Did you
is
see the guards?
absolutely I saw.
Yeah.
What is happening? What is going on?
I mean, we got an arrest warrant, or a search warrant rather than an arrest warrant, because we didn't know what was going on with you. Because I'm not saying anybody's name in particular. Let's just say, let me think of a random name. Revan told us that we never discussed where to meet you after you gathered information.
Such a strange name. Nobody would be
Such
named
a
that.
strange name.
Like, who would actually use that?
Now.
Sounds
I
like a
also have
douche.
more information. There is an airship located somewhere in the Cloudtop district.
Okay, and you're not taking it.
She wants it.
I do. We all know she
I
fucking
object.
want. Yeah,
Corvina does this with her fingertips.
No,
Talks to them.
no.
And looks up at the ceiling.
That's great. You can stare up into the skies above. No,
I was told by a voice in the sky that this must happen.
no. Well, this is a voice on the ground, and along with Zenkus,
Yeah,
telling
no,
you no.
Don't do that.
I don't want to have to explain that to somebody.
Zerelda's gonna interrupt and say, wait a second. Was it the Raven Queen who told you to do it? Because I don't want to upset her.
Oh, Zerona, don't give her ideas. I swear that. Zender's gonna lean it really close to Corvina and be like, I swear to fuck. If you tell me that it was the Raven Queen, it was the fucking Raven Queen, there will be so many hells to pay. We're going to have to redefine how many circles of the hells there are.
Zeno, you get just this very like childlike voice in your head. Trust me, it wasn't me.
What was that? I'm sorry. You cut out towards the end.
Oh, said you get a very childlike voice in your head, one that you instantly recognize. She goes, "It wasn't me, I promise."
If I had a nickel for every time that Corvina was trying to take us for a wild ride,
In an airship, mind
I'd
you.
have several nickels. Which are not a currency that's accepted in this fiction. I mean, this real universe. Anyway.
Whether you were told by a god or not.
If someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
Did you not see the number of guard in the Cloud Top district tonight?
It's like doubling the guard had a purpose.
Without a god showing themselves here tonight in person, there is no way of you obtaining an airship. And I am not giving you permission to do so. I am trying to ask you to see reason that it is an impossible feat.
Wait, have y'all seen a god before?
I have.
I guess, technically.
I'll be
I have, and then I walked the streets covered in blood. It was really fun. However, both of you have made valid points. With the amount of guards, I will not be able to obtain the ship tonight, even with a god's blessing. I will not do that tonight, so during
We had this conversation. Once I'm not here, that's up to y'all.
Zeno's gonna look at like Zeralda and the wall specifically. I mean, Zenkus too, but like Zenkus hasn't been around with us for long. So we look at the two of them specifically. Can I just say what we all have been kind of thinking? Can I say it? Is that okay, both of you?
Sure.
So I was gonna turn to Corvina. Corvina, I need you to understand something. If you keep insisting that we steal people, or kidnap people, I guess is the term, or steal an airship, or do these things, do you not understand that if we are seen doing that, or you are seen doing that, that will get me into not even hot water, it will be like fucking burning oil. Because of the fact that people know that you are associated, you are my friend. We travel together, we break bread together, we adventure together. People understand this concept, so when they see you doing things like this, it reflects on me. It reflects on Zenkus, it reflects on the wall, Zeralda, Leopold. Do you understand that the fact that those types of actions have consequences?
Where is the elf?
He's probably hanging out with his friend. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Corvina goes over and gives them a great big hug. Don't worry. No one will recognize me.
I don't know. That's not the point. My point is you're not even thinking of anyone else. You have to consider everyone around you first. You can't just act out like this.
So while they're having this conversation, I would like to take my immovable rod and start using it to do pull-ups. Because, I gotta keep up this physique.
Perfect.
That
Okay.
is the best use for that thing. That's adorable. Corvina will just look very, very sad and like the ultimate ulu look and just put her head down and be like, fine, I won't steal the airship tonight. I won't take another shape when I steal the airship, and I'll follow all the rules for now.
think happens to Zeralda, to the wall, to myself, to Leopold, if you steal an airship? What do you think happens?
We explore the world via air.
So you don't think there's any negative consequences?
Like, it's a whole new world.
No, no. You don't think there's any negative consequences for the rest of us?
A wondrous place to call my own.
That's about as much as we could use that sound clip.
I'm asking you, as your friend, do you truly not believe there's anything negative that happens to the rest of us for your actions?
I guess maybe we can take like a little bit of Zeno and the logic that you're trying to force into my brain, and a little bit of the Corvina and fun that I'm trying to put in Zeno,
I'm not asking, I'm
and
not
smash
asking
them
you,
together and make like
Corvina, I'm not
a
asking
new
you
plan.
for that. What I'm asking you is, do you think about the rest of us when you're going on about these plans and these things that you want to do? Are you thinking of the rest of us? That is what I'm asking you.
Yes.
Are
And we
you
don't
though?
travel by
Because if you were, why would you think stealing an airship, committing a crime that would get us all imprisoned, if not worse, it would make me lose my livelihood? Not to mention what effect it would have on the rest of us. Are you truly considering?
But your livelihood outside of the city with an airship could be adventurous, could be
I
so
don't-
much more gold than just what we have here. So, yeah, I'm
don't
thinking about other
care. I
people.
don't
Thinking
care.
about everyone.
I don't care about my life outside of the law. This is my home. I have fought for this place. I have worked for this place. I have lost sleep for this place. I have not eaten for a month. I don't care about the rest of the world. I can't change the rest of the world. I can change and I can make Amon better. So when you talk about doing these things that ruins my ability to make Amon better than it was the day before, that when I came to it, that when I found it, you have no idea how badly that really sinks in. All I'm asking you, Corina, is to think about what your actions do to the rest of us. And if nothing else, and if I will be selfish, think about what it does to me. Think about what it is that I want. And what I want is Amon to be a better place, even if it's a little bit every single day. And if you do something like this, then it can't be. That's what
If I take an airship so that we can explore an adventure, that makes Amon not a better place because I took an airship.
Yes, because you don't own that airship. It's not yours to take. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you shouldn't. Just because I could steal Zeralda's weed out from her doesn't mean I should do that.
I mean, Zerola's a sweetheart. She'll just smoke it with you.
But I wouldn't do that to her because I consider her feelings a matter.
What's the cannabis law in Amon?
That's an important question. What are the weed laws in Amon?
I don't imagine they would be much of anything.
Okay. My point is, Zeralda,
Amon didn't have Nixon.
Now, does that consider the airship? No, that's just a challenge. That's just fun. But the things that I do that may seem spontaneous to you guys, may not make sense to you guys, do make sense in my own head, like the little boy. You guys didn't let me do that. But in my mind, that was cruelty. They're not helping him, they're keeping him sick when they could be helping him, and I still think it's cruelty, and I still want to take care of it, but you guys told me to leave it alone, and I did. It might not make sense to you, but that does not mean that I'm wrong. It just
Then if
means
you
that I have
want-
to leave it alone.
If you want to do what you want to do, why are you traveling with us?
Well, I don't have to.
Then don't. If
But
you
I
want to do
do.
what you want to do, then
Because
don't.
I think of you guys like family. I've traveled with you because I respectfully fight alongside you, and I help you guys. If you don't want me to, I will happily walk away.
If you're not going to consider what your family wants to do, and if you're so sure of yourself, then don't travel with us.
Is that
Because
how everybody thinks, or is that just you being upset because I want to steal an airship?
The fact that you can't even see what's wrong with stealing an airship really just proves all of my points.
Well, how about then you just stay in Iman and we go travel on our own?
Because I actually consider everyone here family. I think of what my actions affect everyone else's.
Do
And I
you
don't
though?
act out just because I have a hunch on something. I consider how everyone else feels about things.
I mean, I understand that. I have a very different personality than a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that my personality is wrong. It just means that it's different, and I look at the world in a different way, which could protect the party. If everybody looked at things in the same eyes, you don't get to see it from a different angle.
Tell me, Corvina, how is protecting the party, protecting your family, by getting them all labeled as criminals by a major city? Please explain to me how that's protecting them.
I didn't say in this specific scenario. I just mean when we're up against something and everybody looks at it the same fashion. You need somebody with a different set of eyes, a different set of values.
No, I am talking about the situation. Please explain to me. Explain to me how getting us all labeled as criminals to Amman, a major city, is helping us and protecting us. Please, I'm waiting.
Okay. I'm not about to get us labeled as criminals. You're assuming that I get us caught. You're assuming that if I get caught, I get associated with any of you. And you're assuming that after this conversation, I take you with me.
I would truly love to see how you stealing an airship just flies under everyone's radar. But for now, I don't care. I really just... If this is how you're going to approach this, I don't care. But right now, I have a city to protect.
Well then, protect your city. Stop wasting your time on me.
So now I'll just walk away.
Corvino will just go sit by the wall and Zerelda.
So you guys take a break from one another after your heated debate. You still have a plan of action you have to form. How are you approaching the Sycamore State? Or do you... And just checking in with the party. Do you guys need 5?
All right.
Okay.
Chrono is a different person. Is that
I'm fully aware. I'm just double checking. Same thing too with you, Talia. Are you good?
I'm fine.
Yeah. I'm
Corvina
Talia's great
did
in my
her
eyes.
Okay, cool. Just want to double check.
I give Talia a high five if I could. Throwing high fives at my screen, they're just not going through.
I mean, you don't have a camera on, but I can maybe see that you're throwing me a heart back.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Unfortunately, I don't have a camera yet because I was like, well, I can get a camera. I'm like, I gotta fucking move it. It's just like, it's one of those things, you know. When you go on a movie, just one less thing, even if it's a tiny thing, you just don't want to move it.
No, I feel you that. All right. So you guys take a break. Lady Lorana returns and she comes in. She ushers in her butler with a tray of tea and little snacks.
Yeah.
You seem to be missing
Zorella
your...
takes a handful.
You seem to be missing your detective friend. Is everything all right? Things were getting a little loud in here.
He got mad.
As you're going and shoving your face full of biscuits, she just like looks to the rest of the party and just absently like pets your head.
So after I hit 1,000 pull-ups, I'll go and find Xenos.
Okay.
Corvina will just quietly walk out. Like out and towards the airship.
Okay. I feel like that's going to be a next episode thing.
Probably.
All right, well, what are you doing then? Since everybody's doing their own thing. Zorella's getting pet. Zankus is going to go and have a heart-to-heart. Corvina is committing a felony. What are you doing? You're muted, by the way. Game plan.
Well, the wall is after witnessing the heated debate, probably still at a little bit of a loss of what the plan is, because one has not been really presented. Other than stealing an airship, that's the only one plan that was presented to the wall, which he disagreed with. So I'm probably, as much as it breaks my heart to do so, I'm probably going to see if I can coax Zerelda away from Dommy Mommy and see if we can get the group back together and head out to see if we can see Corvina and the other two. Now, Zerelda, how much coaxing does it take?
You have food?
Roll initiative.
Here, I'll follow up with that coaxing question. Little one, it seems that your friend would like to borrow you. He has my permission. Go ahead.
Yes, mistress. Dawdles off all happy.
Come on, Serona. We have things that we need to do. So let's see if we can gather the rest and get things done. Have a good night's rest. Perhaps you may even stay with Mistress Lorana if she'll allow you.
So,
Okay.
what we'll do is this, because I feel like this is going to, since there's, again, the party is split, we're going to go to Zankus and Zeno, because we only got about like 15 minutes left before we're hitting 10, and then we'll pick up the other half of this at the beginning of next week. Does that sound fair to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Zankus, well, actually, Zeno, did you leave the estate, or did you really just like kind of like go into another room and just try to
I
vent?
went outside to smoke a cigarette.
Okay. After leaving the room, you kind of look around a little bit, and one of Lorana's guards will point towards the door. Assuming you're looking for your friend, he's outside.
Yeah, thanks. Walk out.
Did I see him?
Oh yeah.
Not hiding or anything, right?
So, how's everything going?
So I was just smoking a cigarette.
I apologize before the scene really gets in, Zen. I'm going to have to ask you to speak up just a little bit.
I said I'm tired.
Fair enough. I mean, is the road going to be a problem?
I don't fucking know at this point. I'm convinced that she just is so stuck on her own path that there's just no use at this point.
I mean, I don't know the whole dynamic, but you may need to apologize just to get us through this little bit. I mean, we got a job to do, man.
Then we'll do the job. I'm not apologizing for things that I meant. That would be disingenuous.
Well, you want to try and go over to the Sycamore House tonight?
I assume it's
I'd say it's probably about like 8 o'clock ish, 8:30 ish at this point. So it's definitely dark out now. The temperature's starting to drop a little bit. It's with the exception of like the high guard presence, people are largely indoors at this point.
I mean, I don't think they'll see it coming.
I mean, it is our best chance. Regardless of whatever Corvino wants to do. My obligations aren't to her, it's to everyone else in the city. I do not
I apologize.
in my city anymore.
I mean, this would go a long way to uprooting all of that. So, I mean, one of the biggest problems I see, if she goes with the whole, stealing an airship, that's going to cut down on how many guards we have to back us up too. she wants to do it. I can't, stop her indefinitely. Do you think we could get her to, like, just work for a little bit longer, just kind of an armistice, a truce?
Slunkus, at this point, if she truly cannot understand the connection between myself, yourself, and the guards of Iman, the city of Iman's justice department, what does it even matter?
I mean, for the most part, I mean, y'all are weird. Don't get me wrong. Y'all are strange, but I mean, y'all seem to be fairly close. I mean, are y'all like family? Are y'all just like colleagues, acquaintances? Like I'm fairly new with the group. I don't know all of you that well. I think I've heard of you a couple of times, but
At this point, I don't know. We've got one individual who's been lying to us this entire time about what his identity really is. I've got a rogue cleric who is just hell-bent on whatever it is she wishes to do. I don't know at this point.
and well, not if we're worried about the guards getting distracted with the theft of an airship, we may need to tell one of the guards about the threat to the airship.
I will certainly default to your judgment. I think you are around the city guard and everything more than I am. I'm more handling behind the scenes work.
I mean, I think I'm pretty safe. I'm not tight with all of you per se.
punch on the shoulders, and then exactly.
Be more on like his ribs. Fuck! That's my kidney.
And I'm going to expend a side eye to. But yeah, and I will start heading in, and I guess I'm going to try and find the wall, and
Okay.
just trying to see if we can get something of a plan together. He seemed like he wasn't super emotional in that. I mean, even if he was, I didn't notice.
Stoic as a wall, in fact. All right, and I think that's a good stopping point for tonight. As we discussed, the wall and Zeralda kind of chased after Corvina. So that's where we will pick things up on next session.
A cliffhanger.
Dun, dun,
Thanks
dun.
for joining, gamers.
As always, guys, thank you very much. Anybody that stuck around, we appreciate it. And we will see you guys next Thursday. Thank you guys for playing. Y'all have a good night.